Story about the time I almost became a VTuber. For anyone who doesn't know what a VTuber is, think of it like this. You want to stream, but you're camera shy. People still like seeing a face with a voice. So instead of your real face, you use a character that copies your facial expressions in real time. So I saw a job listing on Indeed that said they were looking for someone into voice acting and video games. The listing said the person hired would become a streamer. At the time, I was looking for a remote job, so I applied. The person in charge messaged me almost immediately and asked for a sample of my voice. I recorded a short introduction and sent it over. They thanked me for the demo, said they liked my voice, and asked if I could sing. I replied I had some experience, so they asked for a sample of that as well. After I sent them my singing, they responded by saying they saw potential in my voice and singing, which will be important later on, so keep that in mind. We scheduled an interview, and the guy in charge, let's call him Marverick, said it would only take 30 minutes. The day of the interview came, and we hopped onto a Zoom call. Marverick started talking all about himself and his company. 30 minutes passed, and he had barely asked me any questions. As he continued rambling, he said, "This is a life-changing opportunity that not many people come across." Then he started explaining why. According to Marverick, his project was groundbreaking, something no one had ever done before, and that's why it was top secret. He claimed he hadn't told anyone about it because big VTuber agencies might try to steal his idea. Then, to really sell it, he said, "Yeah, I don't like to show off, but I'm a one-man army." Cringe. Major red flag. His big, world-changing idea? An anime festival, where the VTuber, me, if hired, would be the mascot. There would be a huge screen of the VTuber character I'd be voicing, and people could interact with me live while I responded in character. Now, I'm not big into VTubers, but I've definitely seen this exact concept before. The way he hyped it up like he had just invented Einstein-level formula was wild. To try and prove he had serious connections, Marverick claimed that Luffy's dub voice actor from One Piece was originally interested in the role. I was super curious, so after the call, I actually DM'd her to ask if she'd applied, because I wanted to see if Marverick was full of it. Unfortunately, I never got a response, but in my mind, it made no sense. Why would a well-known established voice actor go for a role that didn't even list an hourly rate? Which brings me to the pay. When Marverick finally brought it up, he said, "Currently, our budget is quite tight." Our? Sir, didn't you just say you're a one-man army? I guess saying my budget is tight would have hurt his ego. Then he said, "I currently can't offer you a proper wage, but I could promise you a share of the company." What? That is a massive red flag. And remember that singing stuff from earlier? He followed up with, "I have Michael Jackson's vocal coach on my team. We could really polish your voice with a mentor that experienced." He claimed it was another reason why this opportunity was so great. I'd get to work with big names from the music industry. Like, bruh, there is no way Seth Riggs is working with some dude who can't even afford to pay minimum wage. Then he hit me with, "I don't know about you, but I believe in fate. I believe we met for a reason, and I think we could do great things together." And I was like, right. Wanna guess how long the interview lasted? Not 1, but 2 hours. 2 hours of this guy talking non-stop nonsense about himself, barely asking me any questions. The interview felt like Shark Tank, except I was one of the investors and he was pitching ideas. He ended by saying, "Let me know what you think." And in my head, I was like, oh hell no, I'm not working with this sketchy guy. The next day, I emailed him thanking him for the opportunity, but that I was unable to accept it. He replied with this, here's a word for word. "I'm honestly very disappointed that you're choosing to pass on this once-in-a-lifetime, life-changing opportunity. I really believe we could have worked well together, and it's unfortunate you turned down something you'll most likely never get again." And after reading his email, I thought to myself, "Truly thou hast spoken as one well versed in courtesy. Thy professionalism is duly noted. I shall endeavor to mirror it." Wow, Marvy Barbie, thanks for reinforcing that declining to work with you was one of the biggest bullets I've ever dodged. Okay, I wish I wrote that, but I just didn't respond. Afterwards, Marvy, the one-man army, found his new voice actor, and the whole thing never took off. The anime festival never happened, and the project was just way too rushed. And honestly, I wish I could ask the voice actor who did end up voicing the VTuber character for a short while what her experience was like or how bad it really got. But I'm sure Marverick made her sign some kind of nasty NDA, so even if I had her contact and reached out, I doubt she'd be allowed to say anything. And that, folks, was the story about the time I almost became a VTuber for a guy who couldn't even afford to pay minimum wage. これは完璧に弾を避けました